Here we have Ethereum versus the dollar, and this one is building up a pretty big signal that could be confirmed actually as soon as today upon the daily and 5-day closure. Any sort of a closure, essentially here or lower, but especially below 3,000, and I'd be looking for this one to retrace the majority of its March rally. That would imply targets back down towards 27 to 26, 2550 to perhaps as much as 2700 in this case. If that does get confirmed, we'll also see 5-day stochastic momentum turn down below about 2980. Daily is probably flippy floppy here, but still down below 3060. So, short term, it wouldn't take too much for it to bounce. So this is still not confirmed. We do have to, or at least I would have to wait until daily closure, which is another 17 and a half hours away, basically. In the short term timeframes, what do we see? Short-term timeframes has an obvious range going on. Basically, yesterday's high, same thing as Bitcoin, basically. Oh, I guess we already have it in there. Yeah, rejected right at the 382 at 31.25. So as long as you're below 31.25, I do look at the downside as a lot more likely. Bounces over the weekend can come up easily towards 30.60, maybe even 3100 even, no problem. But as long as it's below 31.25, I would say that risk does remain lower. Probably not in the short term, but maybe over the weekend, if you will. I would confirm downside continuation on a short-term time frame as in contrast to a higher term time frame like the daily or the 5-day, with any sort of a closure below 2970. Below 2970, I do look for the next drop off to occur somewhere between about 2820 to perhaps as far down as about 2790. And that would be kind of like the last case, the last case for the hopium, I suppose. As technically speaking, if you come down around there, you still got higher lows. Not the most strong signal of all time, but you would still have higher lows, to be fair. So in that case, I guess hopium can still remain as long as you're above that region on the higher term timeframes. Until then, I do think that risk does remain lower, and short-term timeframes, I do generally look at this one as likely to trade sideways, maybe back down, give another rally, and then perhaps next week trade down. I invalidate that with targets up towards, some pretty big targets actually towards 32.50, maybe as much as 33, somewhere between 32 to 33, with any sort of a 4-hour closure above yesterday's high, which is about 31.25 or so. If that condition is met, I do look for this one to give a rally first, and maybe this is your next major low here. But granted, the higher term timeframes, I do think that there's more risk lower rather than not. So hopefully that was helpful for Ethereum, and there you go.